Who knows?
That's the beautiful thing about them too. You never know. Like I never know.
I guess the word expect is really not, because
you can say expect. I guess you could say expect the unexpected.
Well, yeah. I mean, you said? Oh, the difference between intentions and expectations.
Yeah, intention is you don't want to. You could be anticipating. You could put in forth, and there's no expectation to outcome, in my opinion.
And you probably tell your clients maybe about that a little bit, right?
Oh yeah,
like don't have expectations, just kind of be open.
Oh yeah. Most people that come to me anyway, they're definitely staying open. They're curious about the process, and I would tell them, "Would you like me to share the part of it?"
Except Pierson, he wants something. He wants to know.
So this is what you expect.
I want to know what to expect.
So this is exactly what to expect. Right? You come on in and you're thinking, "What should I expect?" And so we have a conversation, and you share with me what's really current in your world right then, right now, in this chapter. So in this book, in this chapter. On that page, on that paragraph, on that sentence, that really first word, the very first letter. What is happening right now? The good, the bad, in this moment. What are you feeling challenged with? What do you want to have changed? What do you want to expand upon? What's working for you? And that's where you're able to explore. Because at the end of the day, this container is for you.
Well, this is great. I love this because what you just said, the key to all of this is the vulnerability and the willingness to open up and the willingness to be transparent. So that's really the key. I mean, without that ingredient, then you really don't have much to work with at all.
And that's why there's the co-creation. So during the process too, sometimes people are so much in a relaxed state, they might even still be a little bit blocked. Because we're only going toward one of those. There might be like 3 or 4 different themes, and might say, is there anything behind that do you think that you might want to work on? Or I'll go into one and I'll notice they'll basically go down to like one core element, So what happens is I would normally ask based on, I'm losing my train of thought for a moment, based on where you are, where would you like to go with this? And so that's when we're able to see where the block is, if there's any block, or where would you like to expand? There's even a person that I met who isn't a musician, who I did an affirmation for, and he's like, everything is great. I don't want to change a thing. So I said, great. You know what we're going to do? We're going to expand upon what's already working for you. How does that sound?
Because it could always get better.
Right. And what happened 4 or 5 months later after I talked to him? So, sir, how's it going? I'm not really doing great. Okay. So, have you been listening to your affirmation at all? I probably should be doing that. Not to say it's a cure-all, but it may be able to help with that process. So again, it's made for you. So what to expect? To go a little bit deeper than what you may be expecting. And even if you feel some resistance, it's natural. Because we're going through some things we haven't looked at in a long time. Or we've chosen to block them because they might be too painful. And what happens is you might be feeling a little lighter. Didn't say definitely. You may be feeling some certain emotions. You might be feeling some anger. You might be feeling a younger aspect of yourself. You might be feeling some excitement. You might be feeling some tears.
So it kind of loosens things up a little bit. No promises though.
Sometimes a little bit, just saying. But at the end of the day, you never know. And as much as you're willing to go deep. Oh, that's what I was going to say too. During the process when you're affirming, sometimes you're so in that process and they're already feeling resolved, or they're having a hard time figuring out what to say in terms of going into that process into the future, that future state or that time travel. So what I would normally do is do another form, similar to what you guys are doing with me and asking questions. So it's been 2 weeks, it's been 2 months. How's everything going since we've spoken?
It's going good. I've got 2 new gigs per week, and the only thing is that I am still single, and I don't want to be single. But everything else is great.
So I guess you're doing another affirmation on you allowing yourself to attract that right person, right?
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so here we are, long story short, and look at what you've been able to, manifest. So you listen to it, and you're listening to it, and you're allowing yourself to get in the groove of it. You can reach out, hey, I'm curious, this stuff's coming up, is that natural? Totally natural. It's part of your experience. It's the reason why it came up. Yeah, I think I might need some more support. Great, let's talk.
Right. No, so the affirmation is an actual word affirmation, right? Or a phrase with the music behind it, right? Or separate?
No, it's definitely, they in this case, you would speak out. I'd bring you through the process. You'd share with me what's going on.
Oh, and it's their voice?
Then I'd take you into a deep, I'd take you into like a deeper space, basically, where you're able to feel more relaxed. And you're feeling this, if you're looking to get resolution in one specific area, the intention is to focus on that and see what unfolds. So when you feel that inner resolution, that's where the co-creation goes inside. What happens is you are able to be at that space where you're feeling more resolved. That's where the cathartic release comes. That's where some of those emotions, whoa, I'm feeling like I'm seeing different things. And the intention is you don't come high, okay? People may want to smoke pot or drink. Please, my intention is come sober. I'm also 16 and a half years sober.
Oh, cool. I'm a little over 18 months.
Congratulations. See, new discovery, self-discovery, here we go.
Yeah. Connections.
Yeah. So with that being said too, here we are, and I would be recording you, vocalizing. You wouldn't hear any music in that session. And you would also visualize an image to bring you back into that state that you just experienced. And there's a reason why. So what happens is, after your session, of course, I'll check in with you, see how you're doing. At the same time too, I take that recording. I could even give you a recording as a courtesy if you want. Some people don't even want it. And what I'll do on my own time afterwards is compose a piece of music in my digital studio. I'll use Reason. I'll use whatever I want for the digital audio workstation. Compose it, take the recording. I'll be able to take that last part of it. So you're speaking what you're experiencing over that period of time. And I put in the music behind it. I can actually give you an example if you want.
Well, like I said, when we put the podcast officially out there, I'm gonna put something in there, and I'll talk to you about that.
And I sound
edit it in.
So.
Yeah. But what kind of space do you have to get into when you're creating that music piece?
Even with the sessions, what I normally do before is prepare myself. Like I allow myself with my practice.
Yeah. What is your practice?
It's really easy for me to just go from. Well, it's easy for all of us to just go into one thing into another, especially being an empath and being the person that I am. My intention is to really hold that space for an hour, or however long. I could even go an hour and a half sometimes, maybe even 2 at most.
But you're creating it after the session's over, right? The music?
Yeah, but before then, what I would normally do is the same thing as afterwards. I would just hold this intention, basically, that whatever comes through, and I'm allowing myself to really be receptive. And I'm holding the space so they feel open enough, whatever happens.
It's like a meditation.
Yeah, and holding that intention as well. Like I held the intention before coming in and doing this interview that we're all ultimately, whatever unfolds will be for the greater good. So, and again, without me having to get all zen or too woo-woo, because we're putting the woo-hoo and woo-woo, Woo-hoo! So, in this case, when I work on a piece of music, I allow myself just to really envision that person. In this case, I would envision you really listening to this and really getting the most value, so you come back and say, oh my gosh. And it's pretty powerful.
Cool.
That must be so interesting to do, like, as a musician. Like, we've never done that. It's just a different thing to do with music.
Right. It's not like I channel a Ouija board or anything.
Yeah.
But the difference between having grandma's cooking or, a famous friend or just a friend or a family member just really cooking, you can feel the flavor in that food, you can feel the infusion of the energy put in that food. And then when you go to a restaurant, you might feel it. It's just kind of there, kind of.
It's a good example.
So I'm infusing this without me having to get all, again, woo-woo in it.
Sorry, you were going to say something.
Well, my curiosity is, what is your goal? Not your goal. I don't know how much I like that word.
You can say it if you want.
But your vision. I like vision better for these for your clients, because it seems to me that through what you're doing, you want to build a better world, which is what hopefully we all want to do. Somehow.
Yeah, a larger
because
vision.
Because the vision of music emerging, and correct me if I'm wrong, Cynthia, is more of a global vision. I mean, it's starting locally, and then of course you're thinking very, very big, and you want to. It's more of a cause as opposed to a personal.
It's a movement. I'm thinking of it as like a movement.
So my question to you would be, what's your movement? What's your cause as far as wanting to see how this manifests, for at the highest level for your clients?
Sure. Well, again, my intention is, we're all able to liberate ourselves to a certain degree. We all have conditioning. We all picked up different elements, different circumstances. Like for instance, for myself, I don't see myself ever going into a full-time permanent position unless I really resonate with that. And if anything, I'd rather be a consultant than be a full-time employee. So with that being said too, my intention is whoever comes to me, they're able to feel even more aligned with themselves. And at the same time too, they feel called to really connect with themselves and do what's really caused for them. So they're ultimately doing something greater too. So it's that ripple effect.
Yes.
Right.
And the intention too is, even when I first started talking to you, loved what you're up to with what you're, putting with this group together.
Yeah.
And at the same time, the intention is together, there's so many things that one can do. And there's a lot of buzzwords with community. There are people that are actually saying it, they're saying yes. And there's a lot of people that are saying yes.